rocking. I try to let a few doors walk, but if that freezer runs low, I gotta stock it. These scrub bucks got no mask, darn sure no drop times, but this chili has deer burger in it tonight.
Where did this podcast go? Straight to hell. Yeah, speaking of hell, check out East Coast Bowhunting Podcast.
We keep it real on East Coast.
First of all, I'm addicted to the show.
I like that. That's cool. Okay.
Whole hunt, you live it, you breathe it. It's a whole different world. This East Coast has a little bit more of an edge and a grind to it.
It's fantastic.
You guys are fucking awesome.
I want to feel like I'm just hanging with the boys. But I actually saw Jesus. The point where it is now, where it's insane. I just want to get the realest people possible in the industry. You know, if you're not pissing people off, you're not doing it right.
Welcome back to the East Coast Bowhunting Podcast. We are here in Mohegan Sun Casino at the 2019 Connecticut Outdoor Expo, and we're brought to you by Shabeen Brewing, 100 Demons, Shabeen, Ethics Archery. Use promo code EastCoast10, Trev's Euros, Nor'easter Game Calls. Look out for the ECB Blood Series Turkey Pot Call coming soon. Wild Edge Inc., the leader in mobile hunting, and we are presented by Working Class Bowhunter. Not just a podcast, but the brand in the hunting industry. And this episode, we're joined by Tony Santos from Sportsmen Outpost, the bow tech in the archery department. What's going on, Tony?
Not much, buddy. How you doing?
Pretty good. Thanks for joining us.
I'm glad to be here.
Thanks, man. What's up, Trev?
What's up?
So I'm your boy D-Rock, and we're bringing you the exclusive of the Outdoor Expo and trying to put Connecticut on the map. We got your family, Trev, over there making fun of us, laughing at us. I'm sure Tony's going to have his buddies come around, poke fun. So first things first, man, how do you like the Shabeen beer?
It's the second time I tried it. Very good.
Really?
Very good.
Which one you got there? What's the name of that one?
Down right up left. Yeah, down right up left.
Yeah, we gave it a nickname, Double D-Rock.
Double D. Good stuff.
Yeah. I'm rocking the Simply beer. And which one you got there, Trev?
I got that Driven.
That Driven's.
That's yours.
Yeah, that's real good.
They're just down the road from our shop. I never stopped in. I'm going to have to stop in now more often.
Hell yeah. Tell them East Coast Bowhunting Podcast sent you.
Absolutely.
They'll hook you up. They'll take care of you. At least 10% off the bill, I'm sure.
I don't care about the percentage. I just want a good beer.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Amen to that. So let's cut right into it, Tony. Tell us who you are, who you're here to represent, and where we can find you on the internet, social media, what have you.
Okay, I work for Sportsmen's Outpost. We're on Route 69, Wolcott Road, and we are a full pro shop. We deal with Bowtech, Hoyt, Matthews, Mission, Diamond. We carry, for crossbows, we have Excalibur, 10-point, and, oh my God, brain fart, Raven.
Raven, okay, cool. That's been the hot ticket lately, right?
Oh, yeah.
The Ravens?
The new little, it's a 26-inch long, 400 feet per second toy.
Damn.
It's incredible.
What's the range on that one? I'm just curious.
They say, you can shoot them out to 100 yards, but I don't recommend anybody shooting there at 100 yards, obviously.
Right.
50 yards and less, I'd say.
Exactly.
You do that, and everything will be good.
Right.
You get your average Joe thinks he can, go on and shoot a deer at 100 yards. They don't realize what's between them and the target. They're flinging arrows at deer, and they're just going to wound them, and that's not the right thing to do. It gives, crossbows and hunting in general bad names, so
nice.
I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah, Trev and I agree on that. It's all about being ethical for sure.
Yeah. You got to make that ethical shot.
Now, here's just a random question. How come you guys don't carry Elite? Because I'm looking to get an Elite 35, and I want to use my local shop for support.
Well,
what's the story on that?
I don't know. I mean, I wish that we could carry PSC also, but, the owner doesn't want to
stick
carry
to certain names.
too many things because he's afraid it's going to take away from. Because what happens is in the industry, when you carry, say, Matthews and Bowtech, especially Matthews, you're required to sell an X amount of bows, and he feels that bringing in more brands is going to take away sales from the brands there. And Matthews is the type of company that will pull their brand from you. if you don't sell next amount of bows. And that's what he's afraid of. So we can't carry everything, you know.
Okay.
We try.
So let's get Elite in the door and kick Coit out of there.
You know, if it was my shop, I probably would.
Oh, there you go. All right, cool.
But in general, the last couple of years, sales have been, you know, way down. You know, I don't know why. When they made crossbows all inclusive, you know, so everybody can use them, that went, you know, sales went crazy. So everybody wanted a crossbow. Now that tapered off a little bit. So that kind of hurt the sales of regular bows, you know, and it's leveled off somewhat, you know.
Right.
So you can't.
Go ahead.
You know, like you can't carry everything, you know.
No, I get it. I mean, you go into a pro shop, it's just me, myself, I think I can speak for Travis. We're Team Elite, so we really look for that elite stuff. But at the same time, you guys have a lot of great stuff to offer, though. I'm not knocking any bow. Or whatever bow. I mean, there's so many good bows. They're all good.
They all make a good bow. And
yes.
When somebody comes through our door, one of the first things I ask them is, you know, what's your budget? What do you want to spend? And if they say they want to, you know, they don't care, they're telling me $1,000. I'm going to say, listen, I'm not here to push anything on you. I'm going to let you shoot, you know, the top of the line bow from each brand that we carry, and let the bow pick you. You know, I'm not partial to any brand. I think, like we're just saying, they all make good bows.
Yep.
So it's whatever fits you. That's why, you know, you're spending that kind of money, you owe it to yourself to shoot everything that we have, and go to other shops by all means. You know, and I'm not putting down any shop in the state, but I can say that we probably give the best prices on you know, top of the line bows. We're at least $100 cheaper than everybody else in the state.
Nice. So right off the rip, you're getting a discount compared to everyone else.
Yes, and then you know, if you buy a bow from us, we give you a 10% discount on the accessories.
Nice.
You know, so that
always helps.
Big deal, you know.
For sure. And it's cool because you guys are very friendly and at home, kind of that family feel. I remember coming in real quick, talking to Mike, the owner, and letting him know who I was and who we were to represent East Coast Bowhunting Podcast, and he was all for it. He was all smiles, and then he pointed, and he's like, this is the guy you want, pointing to you, Tony. He's like, this is the guy you want on the show. So I take it you're the, quote-unquote, the face of the shop.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's, you know, we used to have a full-time archery technician, and, you know, they came and went, and I've been friends with Mike for quite a long time. I actually bought my first gun from him back in the early 80s when he started out of his apartment in Waterbury, Connecticut. And we've been friends ever since. And then, you know, I started hanging around the shop, and the technician that was there before, he started showing me stuff, and I really enjoy working on bows. So I learned, and then when he left, you know, Mike was left hanging because, you know, he runs a gun business also in the same shop, as you know. And so I started helping him out, you know, and I've been doing that ever since. So I don't work there full time, but I, you know, especially during the busy season, I go in and do, you know, strings and cable changes for him, whatever, and setups. And, you know, I really enjoy it. I mean, I'm a tool maker by trade, a carbide tool maker. I've been doing that for 33 years. And, you know, I take pride in what I do, and no matter what it is, and I really enjoy, like I said, working on archery. So if I could make the money that I make in my regular job, by all means, I would be doing that full time. But unfortunately, I don't. But I love being around archery. I love working on bows. I love to help people out. I want to see people leave our shop happy, you know, with their purchase. And, you know, that, to me, that makes me feel really good, you know, because I love archery.
That's awesome. And the one-up is you guys are actually affiliated with the CT, DEEP, and you guys actually hold bow hunting courses, safety courses there.
Yes.
Amongst other safety courses as well.
Yes, we have pistol classes probably, I think, 2 or 3 times a month at least.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you're definitely giving back to the community.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you've got to do something, man, because, you know, hunting in general is starting to slip a little bit. And, you know, the number of people that go out and enjoy the sport, and the older generations, you know, getting too old to hunt or dying off, and we need to get more younger people. Yeah, younger people, you know, involved. It's, you know, when I see somebody come in with a kid or a husband and wife or girlfriend boyfriend team, and they're, you know, getting into it, I tell them, I said, you look at the bulls, and they're expensive, and they've gotten quite a bit expensive over the years. They're not getting any cheaper. But I say, listen, if you're a hunter, you buy yourself a rifle, right? A nice, decent rifle. You put a good loophole scope on there. You're in for over $1,000. And you cannot shoot that in your backyard year-round.
Right.
And if you do have permission to hunt in Connecticut, you can have 2 weeks, unless you're a landowner. So, you're going to spend about the same amount on a bow. You can reuse the ammunition. You can shoot it in your yard all you want, and the season's 4 months long.
Yeah.
So, tell me weigh your options. What do you think is worth more to you?
Right.
And I tell them, it's so much more enjoyable to hit a quarter at 25 or 30 yards than it is to hit, a can at 30 yards with a gun, a handgun.
Without a doubt.
It says when you do it, you'll know the feeling.
Yeah.
Just like when you kill your first deer with a bow, there's nothing like it.
Yeah.
You can shoot all the deer you want with a gun, but man, when you get that first one with a bow, everything's up close and personal. It's just, it's incredible. So
You know what? I'm glad you bring that up. Do you remember your first kill with a bow?
Absolutely. Yes, I do.
Let's go down memory lane, man.
Yeah, man.
Take us
So
back.
I was in Woodbury, Connecticut, and back then I didn't even have permission. I used to go there in small game hunt, and I saw a deer sign. There was some apple trees old apple trees. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go sit on that apple tree. I just climbed the apple tree, sat on a limb, and just before dark, here comes a skipper, and I put an arrow in it, and I threw it over my shoulder, walked out of the woods, and I was happy as could be. It's like, it was great.
That's
But,
awesome.
that being said, I will not shoot a doe. I don't.
You're not against it.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't put people down for shooting does, but two things. I will only shoot a doe late season. If they have skippers with them, I will not take a doe because there's so many predators now. I personally seen a mountain lion, so they are in the state. I don't care what anybody says. I personally saw one. Okay, so between mountain lions, bobcats, the bears, and
Coyotes.
the coyotes, you don't see too many does with skippers.
Right.
And if you do, if you see like two, hey, that's great. So that's why I don't shoot does. But by all means, if you're a meat hunter, whatever, shoot does. I mean, that's what the sport's about. I personally don't. Nothing against it.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Just your own way of management.
Right, and it's your
Yeah.
preference. And then at the same time, though, it's respected.
Yeah, I'm not a big buck hunter by any means. I'm just saying I will not. I'll only shoot a doe, and I will shoot a doe early season. Like I said, if they don't have any skippers with them, I'll take a doe.
Right.
Absolutely.
That makes sense. That makes sense. I'm glad you also bring up the fact of the mountain lion, because that's been a discrepancy in Connecticut, and I don't think a lot of people know. I don't know. I can't speak for the DEP, but I know at least 2 mountain lions were released into Connecticut because they were dying off, and that is a type of management. Why they did that, I don't know exactly, but I know for a fact it was done, and I don't want to put anyone on blast for that.
Yeah, I don't know when that was done, how long ago it was done, but my oldest son is 28 years old, and when he was 10, we were actually coming back from Catskill Game Farm, and the mountain lion was actually not in Connecticut. It was on the border of Connecticut and Massachusetts. So I don't know if you guys know where Catamount ski area is.
Yeah, well aware.
As soon as you go around the bend from that the ski area, there's a little road, I think it's Route 17, that kind of cuts off your travel on 23 by maybe 10, 15 minutes into Catskill area. So it's basically all farmland. And we were coming back. It's 5 o'clock in the afternoon in July, and there's a guy that's got an Angus farm on the left. And as soon as we pass the Angus farm, and this is right out in the open, no more than 20 yards from the edge of the road, was a huge mountain lion. And I just pulled over. And back then we didn't have cell phones, okay? And we didn't take our cameras with us because we used to go there every year with my oldest son. And we just pulled over, me, my wife, and my son, and we watched this thing walk across the field. And let me tell you, this cat was all of 120, 30 pounds at least.
Jeez.
He was so old
That's a
that
big cat.
he was not even that tan color. He was like grayish color. and just nothing but muscle. And they can say what they want. I didn't say that I actually saw one in Connecticut.
It was right there on the cusp.
Yes, and as far as the one they got ran over in on the Parkway in Milford, the summer after that happened, I was miniature golfing with my 2 younger sons over in Southington, and there was a fellow with his wife and his daughter behind us. He happened to be a state trooper, who his best friend is the head of DEP down the shoreline area, and we started talking about all this stuff, and he whips out his cell phone, and he starts showing me pictures of that lion, the one that got hit, and back of the truck, their truck, the DEP truck, and he had his paws next to his hand and stuff like that, showing me all these pictures he had, and he came out and he says to me, you know why that lion came out and got ran over, right? He says, I'm going to tell you why. He says it had a bullet hole in its side, so somebody shot it with a rimfire, a .22, and they were kind of trying to figure out who maybe shot this mountain lion. You know what I mean? Who took a pop shot at it, and he said that, and he goes, and I kid you not, I swear, the guy comes out and says to me, he goes, you know what else is in the state? He says to me, we have wolves in the state. Now I don't know whether they're hybrids or not. This is what he told me. He says, and this is like when did that
there was one in Milford.
Yes, the one that got run over Milford, the mountain lion. That was like 6 years ago.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so now he's telling me the following year. Okay, and he says 15 years ago on Route 63 by the Bethany Naugatuck line, we picked one off the road that got hit by a car.
Oh yeah. So
okay?
They're out there.
Yes. So they, DP is going to lie, and I mean they're going to. I don't know. I don't know what the reason is, but I can tell you that I honestly saw a mountain lion, and I had this state trooper tell me that that they picked a wolf off the road. Whether it was a hybrid or not, I have no idea. But these things are in the state.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
They did the same thing with the bobcats. There's no bobcats in the state. No bobcats in the state. Look, in the next 2 to 4 years, we're going to have a bobcat season here in the state. They did it with bears. There's no bears in the state.
Or not
in the
enough.
Next 2 to 5 years, we're going to have a bear season. Yeah. Where do they come from? You know what I'm saying? And it was fisher cats.
It was
fishers.
What's it going to take when somebody gets?
They're not from the cat family at all.
No, but they call them fisher cats.
Well, yeah, but that's incorrect. And you can argue that with DEP. That's something I learned with DEP.
Really?
Yeah, they're just fishers, not fisher cats. That's news to me because I always call them fisher cats too.
Yeah, they're just fishers. Yeah,
but they're just fishers. Yeah. Did you know there's moose in our state as well?
Oh God, yeah. Back in early '80s, a fellow that worked with me in construction over on Route 109 in Thomason by the reservoirs. I don't know if you know the area. He came in one morning. He goes, "You know what I just saw on the way to work?" He goes, "I saw a huge moose cross in front of me." I said, "Really?" So this is back in the 80s. These animals, mountain lions, there are mountain lions in Canada. So what happened up in Maine when the moose population started increasing? The deer herd went kaputs, right? So what happens is during the wintertime, these moose, they browse on everything that the deer can possibly reach. So the deer are forced to move. So the deer, what do? They migrate south. And what happens when the predator's food source migrates south?
So the
predators
south.
they migrate south with chasing the food source.
Chasing the
so
food,
that's why we have, I think, mountain lions here. I don't know if they introduced them or not. I know that they're here. There's just too many people that see them. But every time you see them or you call the EP, no, it was a bobcat or it was a coyote.
Oh yeah.
And I also, my hunting partner saw one in Watertown with his wife and his kids, and they watched it for quite a while, sitting there, just off the side of the road. And he didn't call anybody or tell anybody anything, but I believe him because I saw one.
Yeah.
When an outdoorsman, a hunter that knows what they are, sees one, and you say you tell the DP what you saw, they're trying to tell you that you didn't see it. It's kind of like a slap in the face. Are you kidding me? That's why a lot of people don't even bother. I think, because they just keep telling them that they don't exist, that they didn't see what they saw.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
What's it going to take? Somebody to get hurt?
Hopefully not. And I think that's what it's going to take for beer season. Where, Trev?
Bear season, swan season, you name it. That's like the swans. I say it all the time. You want a season in this state, have a Liberals kid get attacked.
Oh, well, yeah. That's
Oof.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
We're going down for that one.
No. I'm sorry.
No. No, don't be sorry. It's real, though. It's the truth. Unfortunately, but yeah, it is the truth. So let's take that hard right turn, go around the roundabout, and get back to Sportsman Outpost.
Yes, sir.
Aside from obviously being a pro gun shop as well, take us down the archery section of it. I noticed you guys actually have like an archery target lane, so people could test out bows as well, right?
we have a small lane where we paper test our bows and just a regular target, and then we have a techno hunt booth which we can set up a regular target on there also, and it also calibrates the speed of the bow. We'll tell you how fast the bow is shooting, and when you buy a bow from us, we'll take you into either the regular lane or the techno hunt, lane, and we end up having you shoot until you're able to hit that target at 20 yards. We want you to be able to hit that target at 20 yards so that when you leave the shop, you're not going to be losing arrows. So we also give instruction, with the purchase of the bow.
Nice.
And
that's important.
You don't just want to, be like a Cabela's and sell and get out.
Yeah.
That's what a pro shop is supposed to do.
And at the Cabela's, you don't even know if you're getting like reliable information.
Yeah, like when somebody comes in and I watch them shoot. If I see that they're like anchoring way up on their face, I try not to change people's ways of shooting. I just kind of give them little tips, this and that, because you don't really want to insult anybody, because people can be funny in archery. So, you give them a tip and you tell them to try. If they want to try it, fine, or not, whatever. But, we give instruction on how to properly shoot, tell them how to stand, how they should grip the bow, and so on. It's very important to do, get rid of bad habits. If you have them, you don't want to start out with any bad habits. So that's where the instruction comes in. You start them on the right foot and just let them take over from there, and then just enjoy the sport,
Nice.
Some people just have no idea how much there is involved to get a bow all tuned up. They think it's just buy the bow, buy the arrows, put it on the string, pull it back, and fire. No, there's quite a lot to it, as you well know.
Oh yeah.
If a bow is not well tuned, it's not going to shoot good. And then when you're shooting broadheads at an animal, it magnifies a problem, and you could be missing your target or wounding an animal. So it's very important to have everything fit and tuned to the right way.
And after the tuning, I'm sure you can agree that it's all about practice.
Absolutely.
Shooting arrows as many as you could.
That's the fun part. That's what archery's about. Get out there and practice and shoot.
Yeah. So in your opinion, being the archery pro there and the bow tech, what's the most essential part of your bow? And then what's the most essential part or aspect in shooting a bow?
I'd say the most essential part of the bow is the proper draw length. So, I have people come in that buy bows online. Some are older models, whatever, but they never get measured for the draw length. And, going back to when I started, archery back in the 70s, yeah, I'm that old.
So you lived through the good times.
I still remember my first bow was a Bear Whitetail. It had like all kinds of wheels on it. It was probably 42 inches axle to axle.
Holy moly!
Man, it felt so good when I shot that. I was like, wow, I got hooked right there.
Yeah.
But anyway, getting back to the proper draw length. So these people end up coming into the shop with these bows that they bought online, and some of them you can't even get parts for. So I said, do you mind if I measure you? And, I measure them, and they're a 27. And then I check this bow out, and I'm a 29. And just by drawing that bow back, I can tell pretty much what it is, from experience. And I tell them right off the bat, that, this is too short for you or it's too long for you. So we can either get you a cam if it's available. If it's not, if it's like a real old bow, I just say, you know what? You just wasted your money. You should have got fitted. You got measured right. So measuring somebody's draw length is, I think, and being properly fit is the most important thing. But getting back to when I started, I know you guys are a lot younger than me, but back then nobody got measured, And I kid you not, I used to shoot 80 pounds, and the bow was probably 31, 32-inch draw.
Jesus.
And I still have scars on my arm right here, if you can see right there.
Oh,
you see
yeah.
that? And that's from the string hitting my arm.
From
that's
overdrawing.
Absolutely. So, you want to be properly fit. I think that's the most important thing, when it comes to bows.
I agree.
I don't care what you shoot. You got to be properly fit.
It's dangerous.
Yeah.
It could be. It could explode.
Look at you. You got a scar.
So that being said, what do you think is the easiest way to approach figuring out your draw length? And the reason I ask is because when I came in the shop, I just wanted to be absolutely sure what my draw length was and what Mike do to me right away.
A lot of some shops, they'll put you up against the wall, and they'll have you extend your arms all the way out up against the wall with your fingers open up all the way.
Wingspan,
wingspan. And then they minus it. I don't do that, so I don't know how it's done.
Right.
And the reason being I don't like that method is because when you're shooting, your arm is not fully extended that way.
Right.
Okay? And you shoot with a closed hand, okay? So that right there is different. And the way you're standing and so on. So I like to take somebody and I'll have them facing the wall. I'll have them stand the proper way and have them close their fist, put their fist up against the wall. Then I measure from the wall to the corner of their mouth. And I usually get a pretty accurate reading on their draw length,
Yep.
So
that's exactly what Mike did to me.
Yes.
And
to me, it's a lot better that way.
It's a lot more natural, too.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. That was really cool. That was the first time someone measured my draw length in that way, and I'm like, wow, this really makes sense. What better way to really replicate your draw length than that? And some people may agree or disagree, but it doesn't seem like your customers have any complaints with that.
And then, you got to I know a lot of people, they'll come in, and you watch them draw back a bow. I give them different bows to shoot as they're trying them out for purchase. And, they lean backwards. So their torso is not centered. For some reason, they think that if they lean backwards, at their waist, that it's going to help them pull the bow back. I have no idea, but it's very important to keep your body centered. I tell people to take their front leg and just, instead of having their toes squared, toward the target, take that front foot and move it slightly back and pointing outward, and then you rotate your hips at an angle to the target. So you're actually standing at a 45-degree angle to your target. That's a proper way to shoot.
Okay.
I mean, don't get me wrong. When hunting situations, when you're up on your stand, you really can't do that.
Yep.
But, when you're practicing, I think it's very important to maintain your proper form.
I agree. For sure. So, I mean, an array of stuff that you guys and equipment you guys have, especially in the archery section. And obviously, again, to reiterate, you guys are full ProShop, archery and guns. So we could dip into that if you want to a little bit. But I'm just really impressed on the setup because it's not tight quarters, but it's not the biggest shop.
No.
And you guys have a ton of gear in there.
We have a ton of – we have actually too much inventory. I don't know if you've seen in the back room there. If you had been there, say, last month, there were just nowhere to put the bows that we have.
Yeah.
I mean, they're literally
stacked
upon each other. I mean, so what I did is we were slow one weekend, and we went out and we bought a bunch of hooks and some 2x4s, and we got 2 rows hanging from the ceiling. So now we're able to put all the stuff that we're working on and use bows. We were able to, it's a lot cleaner. So we're going to get even cleaner than what you saw, because there's nothing like, I don't want to be stepping on stuff and whatever. I know some people that have come into the shop in the past, they say, that it's kind of messy, and absolutely it was, but that's changing now. But I can guarantee you that, if you do business with us, you will be happy, because not only are we cheaper than everybody else, but we pride ourselves in doing things the right way for you, and we want to get you out that door totally satisfied.
That's awesome, man. I totally agree with that, 100%. So, not like every guest on our show, I kind of prepped you for this. Tony Santos, ninja tip of the day. What you got?
I think the most important thing that I would suggest to any hunter is you use that broadhead, you put it through an animal, throw it out. I know that they're expensive. You know, they a pack of a 3-pack of broadheads nowadays goes for $40 to $40+ depending on the head of the brand. But you owe it to the animal to the next animal that you shoot to have a fresh broadhead on there, because it's about hemorrhaging. You want the cut, the best that broadhead can cut. Like I said, you owe it to the animal. That's my tip of the week.
Yes, we like that. That's a good one. And just we ask this to almost all our guests that appear on the show. When you saw this long-haired motherfucker come into your shop and talk about East Coast Bowhunting Podcast, what was your first initial impression?
Well, first I saw you from the back and I thought you were a broad. So
I
gotta go check her out.
Forget about it.
I got a quick story about that. When I was 16 years old, my buddy had gotten his license before I did, and we took his mother's car, and another friend was with us, and we were downtown Waterbury. And I don't know if people know where the mall is, but they used to be all American Brass. It was all a factory there.
The old brass factory, yep.
Yes, and we're heading down toward East Main Street. We were on East Main, and I see this hot chick with nice tight jeans, long hair. I'm like, all right, guys. I said, you pull up. I'll roll down the window, and I'll say something. And he pulls up. I roll down the window, and I say, hey, baby, how's it going? I look up, and there's this dude with this long-ass beard. And I'm like, holy shit.
It was actually D-Rock.
We just hauled ass out of there laughing our asses off. I'm like, oh, my God. I can't believe what I just did.
I don't know who was more embarrassed, him or you.
Me. He thought he was going to get lucky.
Hey, it's not my fault I have a nice figure. Shit.
Oh, man.
So now that you got to meet us and now you know what we're all about, why East Coast Bowhunting Podcast? Why did you decide to come on the show?
Well, hey, it's exposure for our shop, and you seem like a great guy, and you got to keep good things going, man. And
Appreciate
besides that, I got a free beer out of the deal.
Can't go wrong with that.
Oh shit!
What rattles your antlers, Tony Santos?
Oh, this whole crossbow thing that's going on. The regular archers were kind of pissed off that. They made it so everybody can go out and use a crossbow and go hunt and kill everybody else's deer. And, it's going to put a hurting on the deer population. And I think that's wrong. I personally have a crossbow. I had one before it became all-inclusive because I've had 3 shoulder surgeries. And when it gets cold out, if my shoulders don't feel up to it, I'll grab my crossbow. I feel that it's a good thing because, let's face it, there are less and less hunters every year in Connecticut, and we got to keep the sport of hunting going, no matter what tool you use. As long as you do it legally, you should be able to go out there and enjoy the outdoors.
Yeah.
On that note, the guys the gun hunters that think. Okay, I'm just going to buy a crossbow, go out there and fling arrows at 100 yards at a deer. That's wrong. Like I said, I don't know if I mentioned it before, I would not take a shot past 50 yards with a crossbow at a deer, even though some of these crossbows like the Raven, the new 10 points, they say that they can shoot 3-inch groups at 100 yards. That doesn't mean you should go out and shoot deer at 100 yards. That being said, like I said, what rattles my brain with that, we were talking about, when the compound bows came along, all the traditional archers, I'm sure they felt the same way about you guys.
Right.
And everything seemed to go well. Everybody accepted everybody, so we got to do the same for the crossbow hunters. They're not putting a hurt on the population. I've killed 2 deer within minutes of each other, not even minutes, within a minute and a half. I kid you not, with my regular bow. You cannot do that with a crossbow. So to me, yeah, you don't have. There's a lot less movement involved with a crossbow when you're hunting. You know, you can shoot them a little further away. If I take you on a 3D course, you with your crossbow, me with my regular bow, I will kick your ass in points because a crossbow is only accurate if you have it stabilized, like on a, either on a shooting stick or up against the rail of your tree stand. Because if you're shooting freehand, you will be more accurate with a regular bow. I kid you not. And I'll challenge anybody to that. You want to come on shoot 3D with me? I'll take my regular bow and I will kick your ass in points against your crossbow. So
and then kick your ass after he beats you.
So it's just good to get people on the woods and enjoy the sport. I think with what's really hurting the deer population in the last few years has been the winters and predators, not your crossbow hunters.
Yep. Nice.
So that's what really bothers me. I mean, just go out and do things legally and then just enjoy the outdoors and just hunt. Enjoy it. No matter.
That's it.
Amen. So we always like to end the episodes on a positive note. I'll start with Trev. Something positive.
Something positive is just, being at the show and just meeting everybody from Connecticut and talking with some just awesome people. It's just awesome. Like Tony just has some great stories and it's just a book full of knowledge, and just watch the archery world just evolutionize, and it's just so cool to listen to him talk. I was just blown away. I can't thank you enough, Tony. Thank you.
Oh, pleasure to be here, guys. I'm glad I did this. By the way, I was nervous as shit. I would never have done this without this IPA, baby.
Thank you, Shabine.
Yeah, Shabine.
So, Tony, something positive to end the episode. What you got?
Just be happy, enjoy the outdoors, and love everybody, man.
Awesome.
Everybody's against us now, what's going on, legislation. They want to take our guns eventually. I hope it never happens. I know this is not about guns here, but, they'll never take our bows. And enjoy the great sport of archery. Whether you're a hunt or not, it's just a great sport. Just enjoy it. And it was really great doing this. I really appreciate it. You invite me over here, guys. I hope I had some good information for everybody. God bless.
Oh, without a doubt. And on that note, stay stepping.
And stay slaying.